To start with, would like to know the key levels that we should be watching out for on the Nifty.
Where the market outlook is concerned, today being the weekend session, I expect the bulls to be a little cautious, especially in the second half of the session before enhancing their long positions. So as far as the pivot levels are concerned, the Nifty spot will have a bullish pivot at 6,050 levels, above which the primary target will be 6,060 and the secondary target will be 6,080. The 6,100 level still remains a very, very stiff resistance in the absolute near term. And so far, we've attempted to scale the 6,100 levels, but have been unable to close above this threshold. So I expect the Nifty to encounter increasing amount of resistance the closer it gets to 6,100. On the flip side, the bearish pivot for the day will be at 6,035, below which the Nifty spot will have a primary target of 6,015 and a secondary target of 6,000.
Now, Vijay, banks were in focus once again yesterday. So what's your call on Bank Nifty now and a PSU banking stock that you like?
Where the Bank Nifty is concerned, it's been unable to close above the 12,875, 12,900 band. And we've seen two inverted hammers on the daily Japanese candlestick charts within 3 days of each other. So, which tells you that there is pressure at higher levels. And as far as the pivot levels are concerned, the Bank Nifty spot will have a bullish pivot at 12,800 levels. If and only if is the Bank Nifty able to trade above this threshold, will be the primary target possible of 12,875 and a secondary target of 12,950. On the flip side, should the Bank Nifty trade below the bearish pivot of 12,750 levels in the spot, the primary target will be 12,600 and a secondary target of 12,575. While PSU banks have seen a good amount of buying support emerging at lower levels, I suspect it's more to do because of short covering due to expiry-related considerations. Let's not forget that the PSU banks have been underperforming the private sector banks, and a lot of traders had built up short positions there. So it's too early to call a bottom in PSU banks because the lower tops and lower bottoms formation remains in place, and not even one significant resistance has been overcome, even though today the rally has been fairly broad-based in PSU banks. So I would wait and watch for a couple of trading sessions before initiating fresh buys on these counters.
Okay, and your thoughts on Godrej Industries as well as Colgate?
Godrej Industries is witnessing a slow and steady unwinding of long positions at higher levels, and there's a rounding top formation in place on the weekly charts. Since the lower tops and lower bottoms formation is in place, I would advocate abstinence from bottom fishing or bargain buying at current levels. I think the 675 level would present a clearer picture as to what's happening in terms of price and volumes, and if the bulls are coming out to lend proactive support at those levels, defer buy positions if any. Colgate is also in a correction mode in line with other FMCG players like Hindustan Lever, and ever since it's violated the 1,385 levels, it's basically come into a very short-term downtrend. My guess is the next immediate support will be at the 1,320 to 1,325 band. That's where traders might consider buying afresh. At this point in time, it's neither close to its resistance to go short, nor is it close to its support to go long. So one should wait and watch on this counter, but it's looking weak in the absolute near term.
Right, and what are the two stocks that you'd be recommending this morning, Vijay?
Where individual stock trading ideas are concerned, I would want to short Allahabad Bank in the cash segment at marginal pullbacks to 165 levels. I would hold these shorts with a stop loss at 167 and expect to book profits at 161 or end of the session, whichever comes first. My second trade would again be a short, this time on Bombay Dyeing, which I would want to short at 120.5. I would hold these shorts with a stop loss at 122 and expect to book profits at 117 or end of the session, whichever comes first.
And from the futures side, what's the strategy that you would recommend?
In the futures space, I would want to go long on February futures of Tata Global at marginal pullbacks to 149.5 levels. I would hold these longs with a stop loss at 147.5, and I would expect to book profits at 153 or end of the session, whichever comes first.